Yo, what is going on? My name is Sweet Phil, and today right here, I know I need to work on a better name, but we have my Iron Golem Quad Aura Nova Energy Shield Sorceress. Now, I like this build so much, kind of, because you can stack a bunch of Magic Find on it. In my experience, more Magic Find than you could stack on a normal Nova Energy Shield Sorceress. And the reason this is because normally to make your Energy Shield work really good so that you will essentially never die, you have to put things on like damage reduced gear, whether it's the Gladbane or Viper Magi and things like that, or you have to stack a bunch of mana, so you're throwing on things like Frostburns. You don't need any of that stuff because you have the kill speed from Infinity, which almost everybody would go with because the kill speed is absolutely amazing with that. Plus you're breaking lightning immune, things like that. But you also have the meditation aura from the insight that you put on that Iron Golem right there that's walking around me right now. So there weren't any new skill changes in the new patch. There could always be some coming, who knows, I suppose, but it doesn't really look like it, I guess. Not really sure, but this is the only thing that's close to a skill change, so that's why I'm kind of interested in kind of dabbling around with it and trying it. And I think that what I've kind of got here, in my opinion, is a little bit better than the regular Magic Find Nova Sorceress with the Energy Shield survivability and everything, because you don't need to have that stuff on there, but you still get the survivability from Energy Shield and all the kill speed from something like the Infinity. Now I'm going to jump into, first off the bat, people like seeing the actual gameplay off the bat here, so I'm going to show you some of the best places kind of as quickly as I can necessarily, all the different places that this thing can work really darn good at. And for the first one here, I'm going to show you what is literally the best, and if you play it the right way, the way that I tell you to here, your Iron Golem literally cannot be killed. It's impossible. Alrighty, now I'll hit the first place is the Moo level, and here your Mercenary and your Iron Golem are essentially invincible if played correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it up and just super quick try to explain it to you exactly how you can rock that out. Now go through, obviously, CTA, you want to go with your Frozen Armor, Energy Shield, and then you can actually slap on Thunderstorm if you have it and if you want to. So let's come out here and get some regular cows. This is player 7 difficulty. You keep them by you, static, and you have to telestomp everything. If you telestomp everything, every single one of you, your character, your Mercenary, your Iron Golem will be invincible. You notice my health and mana essentially staying the same. Let me come up here. You see the mana would come down and then it'll zip right back up and your health never moves. As long as you're telestomping, you're gonna be fine. If you let your guy wander off like this and just let him go, he's gonna get chopped down. You have to telestomp and flash. All the melee characters, like the cows, when they swing their axe, they will 100% of the time hit me, will hit my sorceress with my energy shield. They will not hit him or him. So they are essentially invincible, and because of the insight on here regenerates the mana so fast, it causes you to be essentially invincible as well. So all of these synergies, all this stuff kind of synergizes together. The insight with that, you got the Infinity, increased damage, you have 14 to life after each kill from your Enigma, so you essentially are leeching back hundreds of life per second while attacking, and your mana is flying back up. Not to mention, with that massive amount of Magic Find you have, you can definitely be finding good items too. Moo level isn't known exactly for having the best items in the whole game, but you can find some darn good stuff in here too, and because you're killing so fast, you got that high rune potential as well. Let's go ahead and just do a few more packs here just to show you. Here's actually some champions, some elites or whatever you call them, and you just slap them down. The thing is you can't sit still for too long. What you need to make sure is as you're flashing, oh, it's been a little too long, you kind of get the feel of it. I need to telestomp again. I need to telestomp something again. I need to telestomp something again. That is the most important thing. You need to keep telestomping and keeping your Iron Golem and your Mercenary stacked up on top of you. See, he just moved, I was watching. You gotta make sure he does not move off of you, and you keep telestomping, and I hope you've been watching the life total up in the upper left-hand corner. It has not moved for either the Mercenary or my Iron Golem, and as you see, my health also has not dropped, nor has the mana. Alright, and just for test purposes here, I'm going to repeatedly telestomp cows, and I'm going to attempt to get either me or my Mercenary or my Iron Golem killed here. You can see my health is slowly going down, and that's really what happens. 95% of the energy of the damage goes to energy, which instantly replenishes, and the other 5% goes to your life, which is not that much. But if you telestomp and get hit, the Oculus is teleporting me away, but you see my Iron Golem or my character, or my Iron Golem or my Mercenary, are literally not getting hit at all. They can't get hit as long as we are permanently stacked up. The thing is that these melee characters always hit me, but the thing why this doesn't work literally everywhere perfectly all the time is because things that will pierce through you, like soul shooting with the lightning or the fire from Venom Lords in the Chaos Sanctuary, if it goes through you, then it will go through and hit all of you all at the same time. But as you can see, you will slowly lose health, but if you ever take out a pack right there, look at your health come back instantly full, 100%. So that's why you can essentially, as long as you're actually attacking in the Moo level, you're never going to die. Alrighty, now here is the pits, and remember, Telestomp, Flash, everything's going to be player 7 here unless stated otherwise. But the Nova Sorceress, obviously, like most characters, can wreck in the pits because the monsters are so weak. You can flash everything so fast. It's an 85 area where you can find every single item in the entire game. So everything's a-okay, not a problem down here in the pits. And this character worked great any place that any Lightning Sorceress or Nova Sorceress worked before. So places like the Countess, even though having this type of crazy endgame gear, you're generally not going to be running a lot of the Countess. If you wanted to, you could absolutely slap her right down instantly, obviously with this good gear. Another thing Nova Sorceress are great known for, slapping down Spectre packs here in the Arcane Sanctuary. It is still absolutely great for it because they have that increased rune drop rates. Here we are on player 7 difficulty, just slapping them down. And you could even go ahead and farm keys and hit the super chests out here. Look at all the stuff coming out. Also, I do want to mention going down to the Countess, you can obviously hit those ghost packs on the way down there as well, having the same higher rune drop chance. And then obviously you can come out here and hit the summoner and farm keys if you wanted to do that as well. And you can do Chaos Sanctuary, but I would recommend doing it on lower players difficulty. Here we are at players difficulty 3. Let's just go ahead and hop out here. These packs like this can get slaughtered so fast you have absolutely no issue. Actually, these little Spectre, Stormcasters or whatever actually take a little bit longer because they are inherently immune to lightning that gets broken by infinity. But right here, this guy is immune to lightning. I'm not sure if it gets broken or not, but as you can see, you can definitely go ahead and take out stuff in the Chaos Sanctuary without too much trouble. It just is, once again, just remember, telestomping is key to this build. Telestomping, telestomping, telestomping. If you do that, you're generally going to be okay as long as it's not those Venom Lords. I'll hit this one first to show you. You got to be more careful with Infector's pack over here because that fire that they shoot is very, very powerful, and it does go through you and hit your golem. That time he didn't take any damage, but here you can definitely slap down in the Chaos Sanctuary as well. And player 7 difficulty is seen there, one of the easiest and most obvious places. You can obviously come out at Eldritch and Shank. Everybody does this at some point. Maybe with this endgame gear you wouldn't usually, but if you wanted to, you can come out here and slaughter these guys in literally no time. That is player 7, so players 7 and 8, they're gone instantly. You could go ahead out here and hit Thresh Shocket in literally no time. Make sure you telestomp them though. That's the important thing. Make sure you telestomp them. Alright, and then we'll keep it going here at Pindle. Get a good telestomp. Make sure you're stacked up, and then flash, flash, flash. And that's player 7 right there. Pindle right there. You could run him so incredibly fast, it's insane. But we'll keep heading down further here to Neelathak. And then once down to Neelathak, now I don't even have a Nature's Peace on. Telestomp them and flash, flash, flash. Flash, flash, flash. Don't stop flashing. These guys are going to give you a problem. Boom, Neelathak's down. They took a little bit of a hit, so it's a lot more dangerous. Maybe I wouldn't recommend player 7 Neelathak with absolutely no Nature's Peace on or no Rest in Peace, but you can see it's done and we all survived right there. Now, onto player 7 Belrun. Let's go. There's down Lister's Wave, and on to Bale. And now I am on single player where I could change a player's difficulty, but for test purposes, we'll jump down and go after a player 7 Bale, I suppose, even though his experience and drops are capped at player 3, just to see how it goes. And as you can see, it's not going very good because of this blood mana curse, which kills your life as you cast Nova. He shoots the thing that zaps your mana, and he shoots stuff that goes straight through you in pierces, which is really, really bad for your character and the Iron Golem's survivability. So on a player 7 difficulty Bale, not the greatest. So now we'll take a look at everything. We'll start off with the stats. It's just enough strength to wear your gear per usual, but differently on this one, it's an energy shield sorceress, so maximum energy. And you can see down here the reses aren't quite capped. They almost are, but it's not super important for these 3, fire, cold, and lightning, because that damage will go against your mana. The poison res being capped is a little bit more important, so make sure you get that up to at least the maximum there, because the poison damage will go against your life when it takes. It does not go against your mana. So that's pretty simple right there. Take a look at the skill tree over on this side. Cold skills, 1 point wonder into frozen armor, 1 point wonder into warmth. The rest is going on the lightning skill tree. Now, obviously it's an energy shield Nova sorceress, so we maxed out Nova and its synergy static, so that gives you a crazy large radius on static as well, which is actually kind of useful for staticking monsters that don't even know you're there yet. And you max out lightning mastery for increased damage, obviously. Now, I also went ahead and maxed out telekinesis and energy shield, because telekinesis minuses the amount of damage consumed by energy shield. So when you get hit, if you're taking 1000 damage that would usually go to your life, it then goes to your mana because of energy shield. But then also because of the telekinesis, that 2000 damage gets minus 6% mana consumed per level. So you're essentially taking 6% less damage per level into telekinesis, excuse me for my stutter there for a second. So I maxed this out at 20. It's actually up to a level 40 telekinesis, but 20 hard points there. Now for the rest, I ended up, since I had to come down to get to energy shield anyways, I decided, I'll put 1 point into thunderstorm, and I'll just have that little bit of damage zapping around once in a while here and there. And after you actually battle order up, the top end, it's like 3,500 to 5,000 damage per hit on one singular target. So it's almost the same as one Nova Flash hitting a target, but this, obviously Nova Flash is a large pack, and this will just hit one. So it'll just kill like one carver here, one carver there, or wherever you're farming. It might kill a little monster like that. The more powerful ones, it just takes down a little bit of amount there. So that's it for the skill tree. Pretty simple there. Now on to the gear, and the gear is the most interesting part, because usually on energy shield sorceresses you need to have damage reduced, magic damage reduced, or you have to have a bunch of stuff that adds to mana. So usually at gloves you would have frost burns to get 40% increased mana. You don't need that at all on this build, literally at all. You essentially cannot die at all even without all that stuff. So I have chance guards. Maybe on the boots you'll want to have Silkweaves for mana after kill and 10% more mana. I don't need it. I have War Travelers for another 48, so you could have 50 and 40 right there. Mine are just a little bit off of perfect. Now, for different types of stuff, maybe for the weapon, you're going to need something like a Whiz Spike for mana, and there's 75 all res. It's got cast rate and stuff like that too. I got an Istid Oculus here for 80 more magic find. Not to mention you're adding skills to increase damage there. For all the other stuff, it's a pretty similar. Maybe up here you'd have damage reduced stuff on, or you'd have a Shaco for mana and stuff like that. I decided to switch this and go with a Griffins. It's a bad Griffins with a not great facet in it, but this is the best I got. But this 1 to all skills, cast rate, and minus enemy lightning res plus your lightning skills damage. That's going to increase the kill speed a ton on any lightning build. Obviously, if you went with an energy shield sorceress before, you might go with this anyways, but there are arguments for other things occasionally, so but this is what I went with on this one. Over on the shield, we've got the Spirit Monarch. If you're going crazy damage reduced, you could throw on the Gurks over here, but I don't need to do that. I don't need the damage reduced, because Gurks has a ton of damage reduced, magic damage reduced, and stuff like that. Over on the armor, generally people would go with Viper Magi or Gladbane because they have damage reduced on them. You don't need it, so I can throw on the Enigma, 2 to all skills. It's got 72 to strength, which actually allows me to put more into mana, actually increase life, damage reduction. That 14 to life after each kill is massive. If you ever take any little bit of damage to your life, I mean 14 to life after each kill, you've seen how many monsters you're slaughtering, how fast you're slaughtering them. You're getting back 1, 2, 3, 400 health every time you're flashing a mob, every time you're killing all these monsters. You only have 400 life. Your life does not ever go down no matter what, under almost any circumstance. It's tough to find a circumstance anyways when that's going to happen in normal gameplay. Down on the belt here, Arachnid's Mesh, cast rate, $1 skills, pretty obvious choice on down here. And for the rings, I did throw on an SOJ, which you would generally have on an energy shield sorceress anyways, and I needed to throw on one FCR ring in order to get over the 117 breakpoint. Part of that is because obviously you do see the Iron Golem strolling around. It's the whole point of the build. I have the metal grid on up here, so I don't have a caster amulet that has the FCR. But you do get that Iron Golem to give you the meditation aura, and that meditation aura on an energy shield sorceress makes you kind of invincible, sorta. But you just see me go max cows. I was in the Chaos Sanctuary, I was hitting a Bale run, I was going out here farming ghosts, this and that. In general, in-game farming, you're gonna be perfectly fine. So I did need to get that FCR down here, and that I did not get on the caster amulet. Down here on the charms, I went with skillers because that's going to increase kill speed, it's going to increase damage. You could even pack up a ton more magic find down here if you want to. Each one of these skillers would be 21 magic find with 7% magic find small charms. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, you could have 120 more magic find down here if you wanted to, depending on where you were going, what you were doing. I obviously have a Geeds over here, Torch and Annie. If you can get them, you're going to want them. And get one faster hit recovery charm down here in your inventory. With that 60% faster hit recovery, you then will reach that break point, and that's a perfectly fine spot to be. So I will point out, I know I mentioned a few times, but the Iron Golem is made of an insight in general. I wouldn't make the Golem out of anything expensive, just in case you make a mistake somewhere. Phil makes mistakes all the time. You can make insights out of the pole arms, you know, just any lower pole arm, it don't matter. You just make one an insight, throw it down, boom. So maybe as you're going, similar to how you do on a Necromancer, have a few extra insight pole arms in your inventory just in case you make a mistake somewhere. Now I do want to mention, I always tend to forget this, so I'm kind of reminding myself as well, you can't make an Iron Golem out of the new Insight bow. Now that after 2.4 patch you can make Insight in a bow, that does not work for an Iron Golem. It has to be a one of the pole arms, I guess technically bows. They're wood, so you can't make an Iron Golem, I suppose, right? Now we'll take a look at what I got on the Mercenary, because it's a little bit different just because I was using this for Chaos Sanctuary to test out to see how I could get the Iron Golem to survive better in the Chaos Sanctuary. If you're doing strictly cows or somewhere where there is not fire damage, you don't have to do your build this way, so it's going to look a little funky, but for the Chaos Sanctuary it works a little bit better actually, in my opinion. We've got the Flickering Flame for the fire resist aura. Those Venom Lords shooting fire at you, it goes right through you, so the whole idea of tele-stomping and that protects your Iron Golem from the attacks, it doesn't work for stuff that pierces and goes through your actual character and continues on. That will hit everybody, but this will give him a ton more fire res. It does give it to your Mercenary and you yourself as well. Now this is going to be super goofy looking, I know, but this Bone Flesh, you could upgrade it if you wanted to, but I it because you lose your resistance that you normally get on Fortitude or the resistance you get on a Tal's Mask. Since Tal's Mask and Treachery would be perfectly fine if you're not doing the Chaos Sanctuary, and Darl's Visage and a Fortitude would be great, because those both, you know, great classic options here on the Mercenary. But that Rune allows it to cap out the Mercenary's resistance here. I am pretty high level, so with that Rune though, it does cap out the resistances. And also this is my form of Life Leech, because if your Mercenary doesn't have Life Leech, most people know he will not survive very long. Now of course, for the kill speed, you've got over here the Conviction Aura on Infinity, and all the stuff that comes with Infinity, obviously Crushing Blow, Vitality, and all that kind of good stuff. But this is mainly the Aura stick for that Conviction that breaks lightning immunes and increases your damage a crazy ton more amount. Now we'll take a look at the overall stats, the advanced stat page here, I mean. So I got 345 magic find right now at this point. Gold find's not that important, but also important, we got the 60% faster hit recovery breakpoint, and we have 120 faster cast rate. The breakpoint is at 117 for a cool there. And actually this one's not normally ever looked at on any other character, but this 14 to life after kill is so crazy important on this. It's pretty bananas that you can pretty much almost never ever lose health on this character. So yes, my initial opinion was incorrect. The Iron Golem insight isn't completely changing everything in the entire game crazy, but I think this is a very good use case, and I think this is a little bit better for the Magic Find Nova Sorceress version of this than it was before, because I think you could easily stack even more Magic Find if you were slapping something down like in the pits, where it's pretty weak if you're just running players 1 pits to try and get uniques. You could definitely stack 120 more Magic Find just from small charms like I showed you, and you could probably get even more if you wanted to throw on the Shaco and things like that and really stack it up. I think this is a very good Magic Find variety with the Metal Grid Iron Golem here to keep your survivability and keep you alive essentially forever, and especially in the cows, you're all invincible. On player 7-8 difficulty, the hardest they can possibly be, and you're clearing a whole game in a couple of minutes. So hit the comments and let me know nicely, please. Please just be nice, people. Be nice to everybody. If you disagree with me, if you kind of agree that it's kind of good, if you think this and that, because yeah, like my opinion, I think it's pretty dang good at the things it does, but no, this is not going to be the next best possible character in the entire game at literally everything in the entire game. But not everything has to be fun to play and stuff like that. So peace out, and don't forget, keep slaying.